Now we're going to talk about a relatively minor topic on the SAT, but actually a topic that's pretty important if you study grammar overall. And that topic is adjectives and adverbs. So let's first just go over the basics of adjectives and adverbs, just so you know what the SAT tests, because frankly, at most you're going to see one or two questions on adjective adverbs on your SAT. So let's get the basics down. All right, an adjective is a word that modifies nouns. Right, it describes nouns. Oops, modifies nouns. Right, it describes nouns. It tells us, whose they are, or what they are, or how big they are, what color they are, anything like that. And those are pretty easy to recognize. They usually come right before the noun. So an example, the big house. Here's our noun. Here's our adjective. An adverb, on the other hand, is a little bit more flexible. An adverb generally modifies verbs, telling you kind of the intensity of something, or kind of the character of how something is done, or generally where, when, why, under what conditions something happens. But adverbs can also, as well, modify adjectives and other adverbs. So let's see some examples of that. I ran quickly. So here's our noun, our subject. Here's our verb. Here would be our adverb because it tells us how we are running, in what way we are running. As you can see, this adverb ends in ly, and most adverbs end in ly. Not all adverbs end in ly. In addition, not every word that ends in ly is an adverb. I mean, take family. Family, that ends in ly, but that's not an adverb. So it's a general rule to follow, and for the SAT, it's probably going to be good enough. Okay, so that would be an example of an adverb modifying a verb. How about an adjective? That breakfast was simply delicious. Now, we haven't talked about linking verbs yet, but this, you'll have to take my word for it, this is an adjective, right? It's describing the breakfast. That breakfast was simply, here's an adverb, simply delicious, right? It's telling us something about the adjective, modifying it. Usually when you've got adverbs with adjectives or adverbs with other adverbs, it's telling you something about the intensity or the magnitude of that action or that adverb or that adjective. All right, what about an adverb on an adverb? Let's see. Let me see. Got a list here. Let's see if let's see. All right. This is not a great example, but I think it'll show the point. He ran really quickly. Okay, here we got our noun, we got our verb, we got our adverb as we had before, and now we have really, which is acting as an adverb because it's modifying or showing the intensity of quickly, right? It's intensifying quickly. So that's the case where an adverb is modifying an adverb. But in any event, that's pretty much what's going to be tested on the SAT. Basically what the SAT is going to do is going to generally swap out an adjective for an adverb or an adverb for an adjective. So let me show you what I mean. Let's say we had this sentence. I am a rather poorly runner. What's going on here? Well, we got poorly, which is an adverb, but we got runner, which is a noun, and only adjectives can modify nouns, so therefore we would have to get rid of the ly and make this poor. So I am a rather poor runner. Note that rather here is an adverb, modifying poor. But in any event, here would be a case where we swapped out an adverb for an adjective. What would be another example in the opposite direction? He decided to buy the car quick. So what's going on here? We got our noun, we got our verb. To buy the car, it's a prepositional phrase. Technically, we don't really need to know this for the SAT, but it's an adverb modifying decided. Or it's the object, actually. Sorry, it's not an adverb. It's a prepositional phrase that's the object of this verb, but we don't really need to care about that. But what about this? This is an adverb, right? It's telling us how he decided, or how quickly he wanted to buy the car. So this is actually probably not a great position. But in any event, this is going to have to be not, the adjective version. It's going to have to be the adverb version. So quickly, he decided to buy the car quickly. Okay, yeah. So that would be, some examples of some kinds of SAT questions you might see. One other thing. How about this sentence? I feel bad. Question is it I feel bad or I feel badly? Another example would be I feel good. Feel good. Is it I feel good or I feel well? Some people, again, might want to overcorrect and say it's I feel badly or I feel well. But the problem is what are you using in those cases? In these cases, bad and good are adjectives. So they describe our state of feelings. They're kind of really describing a noun. So when I say I feel bad, I'm saying I feel bad myself. There's something, I feel bad, either, I feel sick or I feel bad about something I did, whatever. If you say I feel badly, you've got an adverb, and that's modifying the verb itself. So if you say I feel badly, that doesn't mean that you feel bad, like you feel guilty or you feel sick. It means your feeling, your capacity of feeling, your action of feeling is not good. It's bad. So let me kind of flesh this out for you. Let's say I see someone, get hit by a car, and I feel no remorse I feel no emotion about that. I feel no pity. I feel no empathy. I might then say, someone might say that, oh, you feel badly, right? The idea that you don't feel very well, like you don't kind of have that empathy for that person, right? It's kind of a weird thing to say, which is why we don't really say it. Another example would be I feel good for the same reason. I feel well. Well is the adverb here that would modify the verb feel. And in that case, if you feel well, it means you're good at feeling. It doesn't mean you feel good in yourself, if that makes any sense. Anyway, they don't really test this on the SAT directly, but I just wanted to mention it just in case that was something that confused you. So there's actually quite a lot more to say about adjectives and adverbs. As I've mentioned in other videos, adjectives and adverbs can be clauses and they can be phrases. Though that stuff really isn't tested directly by the College Board. If you see adjective-adverb questions, they will be of this order, where you've got to swap either the adjective for the adverb or vice versa. All right, that's it for this subject. Let's move on to the next video.